Hey guys, teacher Amber here. So, how's pacing going for you? Are you stopping right at 25 minutes every time? Or are you having trouble getting to 25 minutes and having to come up with things? Or are you getting to 28 minutes or even going past 28 minutes? Well, if you're having trouble getting to 25 minutes or having trouble staying under 28 or wanting to stay closer to 25, but you're not really, then keep watching. Let's talk about this. So I'm going to be talking about pacing for levels 2 and 3 in the MC classes. So the classes should be at least 25 minutes and less than 28 minutes. There have been some times when I have gone past 28 minutes and the world did not come to an end. So if you go past 28 minutes, I'm sure the world will not come to an end. But if you do have a class after that, be sure to get over there prompt as quickly as you can. And yes, do not stop the class before 25 minutes. So if you're less than 25 minutes, think of ways to continue to extend if you can. All right, so things to think about. Keep it to 1 minute per slide. If you're not in the habit already, get in the habit of looking at the timer frequently. So decide if you need to look at it every slide, every other slide. Maybe you can go longer, but you decide what you need. And if you're not looking at it at all, maybe start with looking at it after every slide till you get a feeling, and then every couple of slides until the more you do this, the easier it gets. Trust me. And then the time that you should or the time should reflect the number of slide you're on. So if you're on slide 5, you should also be on about minute 5. So if you're somewhere close, even if it's 4 or 6, but I notice that sometimes mine can be 3 or 4 minutes off. And then when I see that, then that tells me that I either need to start working on speeding up there or start working on slowing down there so I don't have a ton of time at the end or go over a ton. For level 2, I find that the last content slide is usually on slide 22, and then there are the song slide and the homework slide. And sometimes there's the project slide in there too, so that can take up another minute. So I find that if I go to the song at about minute 24, that's usually good timing. If it's a little after or a little before. Usually if I 22 minutes and I get to the song, then that's still fine. We still have time to sing the song, and I can do a little bit afterwards. For level 3, I find that the slides, depending on the unit, are typically have more content and take more time, and the content slides usually go up to about slide 25. So I really try to stick as close to I can as a minute per slide there. Talk about things to do if you are finding that you have extra time or that you don't have enough time. First, let's talk about if you are finishing, you have extra time. So some things that you could start thinking about are to focus on asking more questions on each slide to extend on each slide rather than saving it all to the end. So some questions you might be thinking or asking the student are, do you like, or how many blank do you see? What color are the blank? If it's an easy sentence for the student, you could change the noun and ask. So if you're saying, what do you see? And they say, I see a wardrobe. Then you could change it into a sofa or a bed or something else in that topic, or add in an adjective. What color is the wardrobe? How many wardrobes do you see? Different things like that. And then if you're doing that or you forget to, happens to the best of us, and you still have time at the end, Keep a note of something that they could still use more practice on. Go back over those target sentences again, especially if they weren't super fluent with it, and practice it some more. Or if it was very easy, I change the noun, add in adjectives, ask get to know you questions at the end. Right? And then if you are finding that you're spending more time in class than you want, either going over the 28 or trying to get closer to the 25, then here are some things to think about. So think about why you're spending more time. If it's because a student is struggling and you're wanting to give them more practice, just remember that if a student is struggling, to have them repeat one or two times at the most and then move on. They can always go back and rewatch the video, and you can suggest that in the feedback. And if they are having trouble with repeating the longer sentences, simplify it down to just above their level. So if they're really having a hard time with, I care for my dog by feeding it, maybe simplify it down to, I feed my dog. Okay, or if they're even having trouble with just what dog is, practice dog. Dog. What is this? This is a dog. My dog. Right? So simplifying it down. And if reading is taking a long time, take turns reading with the student. Don't have them read the whole thing. You can take turns. They can read some. If it's really a challenge, ask them to find specific words and circle them and help them read it. If you have any other questions or anything else that you're struggling with pacing, please feel free to send me an email, comment below. Happy to help. Happy teaching. I'll see you next time. Bye.